Doug, I know we heard you after the first game about the level of compete and the two battles in each game. How do you assess how your team did tonight in that aspect?
The thing that probably disappointed me the most is like they get off to a decent start. They're moving the ball around. They're doing some good things. The second unit comes in. I think it was like 4.5 minutes in, and 2 minutes and went 11-0. And then you shoot 14 or 15 more shots than them, and we allowed the inability to make shots to affect the intensity at which we play. That's just, mentally you can't do that. You got to fight through. I told them, like, you have to learn how to win ugly games. That game was there. They weren't making shots at the beginning of the game. There was a flow, ball was moving, got some good open looks. You didn't make them. So that should not affect the way that you play on the defensive end of the floor. It just can't. So, yeah.
We heard Sabonis left to your right.
Yep.
With the hamstring injury late. Do you have any more clarity on that?
No, I'm sure we'll be updated, but no update as of now.
Talked a lot about defense, obviously, and it being a
Yep.
process. Where do you feel like you are at in that process, and how quickly do you?
Like I tell them early on, I said, the road to success is full of potholes and is always under construction. So this is not going to be a simple, easy fix. We see some guys, some units that play with an intensity that we want to play with, period. And we have to find a way to hold down the fort at certain times of the game, regardless of what that's going to be, whether it's going to be a zone, whether it's going to be a three-quarter court trap and back into a zone, whatever it is. There can't be an excuse of why you don't defensively give the effort and attention to detail. Balls on one side of the court, you got to bring the gym over. Like, guys getting layups and dunks, it's just unacceptable, period. I mean, these guys we've been through drills, but listen, this is on me. I'll figure out a way to make sure that these guys are doing exactly what they need to do. All I need from them is the attention to detail and the effort. Everything else, I've always said, guys, I take all the bullets for that. That's what I'm here for. It's, in my opinion, it's never the players.
Coach Christie, what do you, your thoughts? It seemed like, when Brook Lopez came in there, he hit 3 or 4 triples, and that pretty much got them going. Were you trying to get your team to understand, when those type of things? Now, there was a couple shots where, your players were right up in his face, but what do you have to do to get them to understand, to try to calm that down, turn that water?
Well, listen, it was a pick and roll, I believe, with Lopez and Chris Paul, if I'm not mistaken. We got over the pick and roll. Like, we just overhelp. No need to help that much. If Chris Paul's going to go downhill and finish at the basket, contested, okay. And we overhelped and we close out short to a guy who, on the scouting report that everyone saw, he's hot. So you got to get to his body. You can't give him any airspace. That's what he does. Make him dribble the ball. Make him go by you. And we talked about it, but the ability to, like, again, attention to detail, we have to be in those moments. And that's where I think, like, sometimes when you don't make shots, you get in your feelings, and unfortunately, you got to fight through that. That's the mental fatigue that is the game, and we will be better for it.
Doug, don't want to ask you to speculate at all, but to see Domas leave, how tough is that, tonight, given, everything else you guys are already faced with?
I mean, listen, your star player goes down. You never want to see that, period. I mean, I can't speculate on what it is, so hopefully it's nothing. We have some time before the first game, but those are the things that you just do not want to see. But it's part of what we do. It's the same thing with Keegan. Unfortunate as it is, it's part of our game.
Doug, got a glimpse of Saric in the starting lineup, went to IJ as well. Are you able to share any of the takeaways that you had just from the experimenting with those lineups tonight?
I thought Sarge got a couple of good looks. IJ had some some moments and flashes. You know, for me, it's not really about what they're doing, you know, offensively, because, you know, you make shots, everyone's like, oh, you look good. Really, it's more defense. Sarge is going to have to be more of a team defensive player, meaning are you in the right spot? IJ, we have to feel you on the defensive end. You're long and athletic. Make sure all the rebounds are yours. Run the floor extremely hard. I have to go back and see what we saw in that. But yeah, you're right. It's going to be, you know, we got to feel our way through that. You know, it's hard to replace a Keegan Murray. I mean, the kid is 6'8", 6'9". He shoots the ball. He guards the best player. Like, all of a sudden, that's out of your lineup. It's tough.
Thanks, DC.
Yep.
Right.
Appreciate you.